No, they were. They were.
So, Warriors, perhaps they can start off the night well for the New Zealand folk. A win today would continue to solidify themselves in first place.
Definitely would.
And I would say a win today would also probably solidify them in a top 2 placing for the rest of this season.
Yeah, I think they'd be very comfortable. Even if they lost to Order next week, I think only with the one series loss, they'll be very comfortable. Now with Mind Freak dropping one, so they are one series ahead of everybody else, at least, if they drop this. If they don't drop it, they'll be 2 series ahead. And that is a lot of breathing room in a tournament like this.
It certainly is, with only 2 weeks left. Well, Warriors are starting off on the attack, as they did on Volskaya, where they posed a pretty imposing time. So far, so good, though, for Ground Zero. They haven't given up too much room, nor too much ultimate charge to Warriors either. Nami up to 26%, slowly getting caught by Huss. First dive comes on in from Mini, straight on top of Noz, who is just focused down by Gus. I mean, fancy putting Gus and Huss in the same game. That's just rude.
It is quite difficult to wrap your tongue around, but...
If only Bus was playing here, you know? Like, let's just replace Mini or Modern with Bus.
Oh, Bus was close. He was doing the trials for the Warriors, from memory. But
then we'd have Gus, Bus, and Huss.
That would just be a disaster.
Maybe Warriors are going to have to ride on the bus back to spawn because it just doesn't look good for them here at all. Not sure, it seemed like half of them reset and half of them stayed.
Yeah, a little bit of indecision there from the side of the Warriors, and it really cost them a lot of time, in fact. But didn't get punished too badly. Nami does seem to be closing in on EMP. Huss is there as well, so he didn't really take advantage of the fight. It was a very split-up fight. As soon as Noz went down, everyone went everywhere, so I don't blame him for that. Mini with the first ultimate of the game, hard. This is a very difficult place. There is no because he does catch out us too.
Oh,
that is beautiful from Nami. Saw him invis, knew which way he was going to be going, and read him like a book.
Read him like a book, hook, line, and sinker.
He certainly was hook, line, and sinker. He fell for that one, didn't he?
Not sure that's the way that it's supposed to go, but thank you for running with it.
Alright, I'll always support you, mate. You're right.
That's the point of climbing on a table when you start calling me out on podcasts.
Look, that was just strange, alright? It was funny though. But who will we see initiate this fight? Is it going to be Nami?
Surely it's got to be Ground Zero.
I mean, they are on the high ground, so Warriors kind of need to force them off it, or at least force the point to force some movement. And now the movement comes. Mini dropping down. Huss still playing reserved until he throws his translocator on EMPs. 3, but Nami with the return EMP and the deep drop from Gunther really sets Ground Zero up for a good fight here.
Bionade that's really causing problems. A nice shatter. Duboy and Nami collected into it, but somehow both of them survive. I'm not sure what stopped Modern's charge, but something did. Might have been Duboy just getting up in time and getting a shield bash across. Regardless, that has saved the fight for Ground Zero.
It could have been, and that's a big play. I mean, look at the time left. Only 57 seconds remaining. Noz has the grav, but it's hard to get a Graviton Surge off at this point, especially if they're playing the high ground like they have been so far, Ground Zero. They're not giving up anything.
This is crazy. We're down to 46 seconds. Still,
Gus could put a really nail in the coffin here. If he uses Graviton Surge, that's going to be it for the Warriors.
You look at this fight and you think Warriors probably should be winning it. A nice Bionade through onto Tongue and Jungle. Won't cause too many problems though for Warriors. Graviton Surge collects a few. I'm not sure how many, but it's enough. And this is Warriors now taking the advantage into the fight. How long can Ground Zero last? Probably not too long without Mini getting that Primal Rage up. I think that was the save condition for Ground Zero.
Certainly was, and a very risky grab from Noz, but it was pretty much a blind Graviton Surge on the stairs, but he knew the supports had been pathing through there recently, so he managed to catch both of them in that. Fortunately enough for him, Modern was able to get up there and deal some damage into it. But Ground Zero are going to have a really early contest here, and this is what we were talking about last series. You can get 3 contests off on this card on this point if you contest early, and Mini just wants to do that. He dives in deep, he does have the Primal Rage, but he's EMP'd.
That was a bit of an interesting EMP from Huss. Mini was like pretty much in there on his own.
Oh, Dalsu's napping.
Oh, why are you napping there?
It's not a place I'd choose to sleep, but now they're getting staggered out, and this can be quite painful to deal with.
Be honest, Smash, you seem like the kind of guy that could sleep anywhere.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm pretty easy sleeping. That's alright. Spent enough time in hotel rooms, traveling around the country, playing for hundreds of dollars in contenders. It's been beautiful.
It's a lovely story. I hear sometimes you even get your own hotel room as a manager, as a contenders manager.
Sometimes. But Huss picking off Nami in the fight. One lays down the Earth Shadow, but he didn't get a lot. Now
Two boys
it's
sleeping.
chases on. Yeah, I mean, this is a really messy fight. No real...
It's not really a fight though, is it? Like, it kind of just feels like a bit of a skirmish, which hasn't really ended. You know, like, Warriors have continued to push forward and they've continued to get picks here and there, and Ground Zero have not really ever reset.
Yeah, and that first hold that was just really great from the side of Ground Zero has now turned into pretty much a disaster on their second point, as they've given it up for free, essentially. It looks like they won't try and recontest here, but they'll try and recontest early.
That was strange.
It was very strange. They have all the tools to recontest early here, though. EMP comes out. It's just not enough, as Roro gets the first pick in the fight. Modern does get traded away, but his spawn is just there.
Yeah, and Minnie's on the floor now as well, copping a beating from Roro, not to mention EMP in from Huss as well, is going to probably be the icing on the cake for Warriors. With the flying around on the walls, is really not going to be too much of a pesky mosquito to deal with. They even have mosquitoes in New Zealand? Who knows these days? Never been there. Oh,
Fairly certain they would.
that was some pretty tricky movement from Huss, by the way.
Good parkour from him. He's experienced on the map, knows the map knowledge, plays a lot of rank, so he would have played this map a ton. That fight was very expensive for Ground Zero. They committed the EMP, they committed the beat drop. Now they're in a position where they can be easily punished, as the Warriors are on the retreat, running away from the rally on Juboy. Nami gets put to sleep. He has armor though, so he should be okay.
Not only that, but Modern was hacked as well, so no real incentive for Warriors to push in at that point. Huss has been spotted, and spotted through his translocator as well. Shatters down now from Modern, and Dalsu cops the brunt of that, smacked into a wall by the big Korean himself. Here comes the rest of the Warriors as well, the New Zealanders, the Aussies, everyone's piling in. Gunther stuck inside this Graviton Surge is not going to have a fun time at all, even though Nami throws the EMP in. And it's a good EMP with 4 players collected. There's no one there to follow it up.
Oh, that's such an unfortunate second and third defense from Ground Zero. After playing so well on the first point, getting it down all the way to overtime, they just get snowballed and steamrolled on second and third, and it just looks like they never were in the game from then on. Really disappointing to see that, considering that they had a really good opportunity here to hold them very close on second or even very close on third, and
Yeah.
that would have really turned everything around. Now Warriors are in the driving seat, definitely, when it comes to this series.
Like, to have such a long hold on first and yet to still see 59 seconds, it's pretty crazy. I mean, Warriors didn't really stop. Once they started, they didn't stop.
It's really what you... yeah, basically that. You don't want to see that at all if you're the defending team. You want to put up a good first hold, and then you're like, alright fellas, we'll hold them in second. You know, we've got 3 opportunities to fight, but because of the stagger spawns and the messy nature of the fights, they didn't really get 3 fights. They got 2, 1.5 perhaps. And Warriors, now they've turned to this composition once more. Bunker up, fellas. Noz on the Tourbillon. Ground Zero really didn't show that they could deal with it very well, in a timely manner either on Volskaya, so maybe we see another full hold on Hollywood.
Bit preemptive to call that.
Haven't
Seen Ground Zero on the attack just yet.
I'll be interested to see how they approach it, because the way they approached it on second attack of Volskaya really didn't fill me full of confidence. We saw the way Order dealt with this type of composition, where they just went the 3-3 composition. They just, you know, took space and took the areas and made the bunker composition come to them, and I think that's the appropriate way to play it. But Ground Zero, not sure what they want to do just yet, what type of style they want to play.
We shall see shortly. Duboy on Hanzo, is this real? Perhaps the bunker breaker.
It is real, and Dalsu will swap over to the Roadhog, so they are playing this composition that's very popular in matchmaking at the moment, which is kind of just like a shield break composition. Then you go in and you get the whole hook. Pretty much everyone's playing it in North America, so it's not a surprise to see it come out, but it is something very different for our viewers.
Dalsu not really having too many problems with the pulled pork. Interesting to see him on this particular hero. See what he's going to be able to do. Oh, well, there we go.
Clean Huss up nice and quickly there. Unfortunately, Gunther, the solo healer, does go down to a double direct from Roro, showing his prowess on this Pharah, but all of Dalsu's hard work undone by that resurrection from jungle. Can be quite hard here for Gunther too, because he's going to be the solo healer on the side of Ground Zero game. There is no Ana. They're going for the Roadhog over it. Try and get that combination to get those pickoffs nice and early.
Need to be very careful here as Gunther. Those rockets getting mighty close, and if he goes down, that's essentially the fight over. Ooh, Dubois gets Roro. Just able to keep Gunther up, and it does look like it's going to work pretty nicely for Ground Zero. Starting to make some inroads now onto the point. Huss goes down to Gus. Modern
Dubois flying very low, and Modern's got the machine gun out again, but he is hacked and needs to retreat.
He's not making enough noises. You need to make more noises. It'll increase your power. And here we go. Modern, he gets the supercharger down. I think he heard me. He started to increase the power indeed. Does fall pretty quickly after the fact. But he might have actually done enough to keep Warriors in this as the players respawning do manage to get back on.
Yeah, see Roro on his famous Tracer swap. He's done that a few times now where he's just swapped to Tracer to get back to the point, and once that supercharger came out, meant he did a lot of damage. Noz does a lot of damage. Even Jungle got in on the action, taking out Gunther in the skies.
Mini copping a few stray bullets on his way into the point. Noz ulted up into the air, but there's no following hook. Now supercharger down from Mini this time. Noz's turret is out of the picture, but so too is Mini. And it's a rocket barrage from Dubois. Noz playing with a bit of fire, jumping up and down like that, but it's Tung. Little dispatch of Dubois. We've seen that so many times. The Ana getting rid of the Farah. That self-destruct does not look too good, but it is at least going to buy enough space to get 2 ticks up now for Ground Zero. Huss, where's the EMP, man? He's been hacked on up. He's dead! And that is not a good time to be going down. It could have turned it around for Warriors, but sadly now I think it might be just a little bit too late. Having said that though, EMP off the back of Modern with a nano boost on top of him. Maybe Warriors can still say something about this point. Modern drops very quickly, but Roro also gets Dubois. There's so many players still coming in here for Warriors, of course, as the EMP does fade. Nami's maybe hit Tung, I don't know. Did it get cancelled? He died pretty quickly after the fact. Regardless, it didn't do a whole lot. And still, Warriors are contesting the point.
Dalsu gets 3 in the fight though, and I think that's going to be the exclamation mark on it, because that fight was definitely a dog's breakfast. That was messy as it could have been. We had players like Warriors, players Tung, sitting in the cafe just punching heals into Modern as fast as he could. Keeps the nano boost up. That means the recontest from Hussey was keen on it, but it just wasn't enough, unfortunately. They just didn't get enough kills, and Dalsu was able to just sit there like a turret and dish out damage. And if you leave an Ana alone, she can do a deceptive amount of damage.
What is a dog's breakfast smash?
I don't know. Usually a bit of whatever's left over from last night's dinner, usually.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if we've had a roast or something. Just give them a bit of roast meat if we like that over.
Oh yeah.
Chicken, a bit of gravy.
Sounds nice.
Spuds.
Why isn't that Smash's breakfast?
Well,
That fight was a bit of Smash's breakfast.
I don't know, I usually just have toast for breakfast. Not too picky on it.
Alright, that's good to know. He goes Mini straight into the fight. He's got the nano boost on top of him. Doesn't look to have done too much damage with it though.
Yeah, didn't get a lot done with that nano boost. You want that one back. Huss coming in on this EMP too, which will mean Mini will be very, very vulnerable.
Huss is definitely looking for it.
It is manually hacked though, out from Nami, taken out from the skies as well. Modern dropping very low, anti-nated at the moment. Tung uses the nano boost to top him back up and put him in fighting condition. Let's see if he gets anything off it. Doesn't look like it. Looks like he's happy to send out a fire strike another day.
I feel like Huss is a bit of an enigma on the Sombra. Sometimes he looks absolutely unstoppable, and sometimes you're just like, are you inting?
Yeah, I mean, he almost gets Nami there. But I mean,
I don't want to be too harsh, right?
he's consistently good at building